Let me thank ITsAP and especially Mr. Rajanna for inviting me to participate in this function. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the companies who have been able to show very unique performance among the community of IT industry in achieving this award today. Mr. Rajanna has just mentioned that we have achieved a magic figure of in our 50,000 crores. I would like to put it slightly in a different form. We have definitely achieved a magic figure of $10 billion for the first time in our industry. So I would like to take this opportunity to give a big round of applause on behalf of all the IT industry. Friends, today we are celebrating the awards function. So at the same time, I would also like to take you through the performance of IT industry from now to the maybe next few years. In 2012 and 13, many of you must be fully familiar with the statistical figures. Our country has touched a figure of 108 billion expected to be. In 2011 and 12, we have already touched 100 billion. So at the same time, our state also has touched 10 billion plus 10.8 billion to be very precise. So we definitely have a very unique sort of status as far as Andhra Pradesh IT industry is concerned in our country itself. Not only that, last year in 2011 and 12, we have achieved export performance of 8.13 billion as against export performance this year of 75.8 billion, which is approximately a growth of around 8 to 10%. As Mr. Rajan also mentioned, our performance with respect to manpower and the space facility kind of thing, I would like to take you to the expectation of IT industry in our country to the year 2020. So we have ambition to achieve $225 billion by the year 2020. At the present rate of growth rate, what we are going through, our country is likely to reach to a position of somewhere around $200 billion. And export figure is expected to be 150 to 175 billion US. Vis-a-vis our country's performance, our state performance is also likely to reach to a stage of 21 to 22 billion US by the year 2020. And our exports are likely to be somewhere around 16 to 18 billion US. And why it is very important for us to see these futuristic landmarks is from the perspective of, are we likely to achieve $225 billion US by 2020? Yes. And with respect to manpower also, our state is likely to have a position of 55 million people likely to work. And indirect employment also is likely to become 55 million and 2 million will be there. And by 2020, when the target is $225 billion US, by all means, we are likely to achieve a position of $200 billion US, which means there is a gap of $25 billion US. And how do we cope up with this gap which we are going to have it? To my perception, number of new locations are coming as IT destinations, more particularly northeast locations. In our state also, we have a number of tier 2 cities which are likely to grow and show up a better performance year upon year. And it is this particular gap which is an opportunity for the existing IT industry also to move forward and position themselves in the tier 2 cities, where the position of the tier 2 cities also with respect to their performance is likely to become little visible and viable. Going forward, when the IT spend across the world in 2011 and 12 is 1.93 trillion, and the outsourcing market is to the tune of 125 to 130 billion only, which is to the position of 7%, which means the outsourcing market is just 7% of the global spend, which means there is a huge room for increase in these figures. By 2020, it is projected to be $250 billion US, which is likely to be a sort of target for our country itself to the range of $225 billion, which means our share of global business, global outsourcing business is likely to move much, much closer to the opportunity that is available.